special group of guys. Even though our year's been a rough year, they're a special group of guys. They're continuing to battle. We're gonna keep battling, and you know, I believe in them. I really do. We're just gonna hang in. You know, we're gonna hang in. We knew that they had hit their share of lucky shots during the game. I mean, Robinson hit 2 or 3 shots that he's capable of hitting, but you know. And look, if you give in at that point and say, hey, it's just their night, you know, you're never going to win a big game. But our guys hung in and kept battling, and then, you know, when you do that, you know, you get a little good fortune. You get a couple missed free throws, you know, and you get opportunities to finish the game. And the last play offensively was great because, you know, we wanted to save our last time out in case we needed it. So the guys came down and ran an action that got the ball moving, and they found obviously the right guy, Dirk, you know, who was able to hit a 3. So that's enormous.
So how about Brandon Wright? He got double-double tonight.
I just said Brandon Wright played a very good game. And, yeah. And look, everybody that played did some good things, you know. And right now, hey, you know, whoever we put out there, it's got to be just, you know, all in. It's not going to be easy any night. It's just not. It's just how this year's been. That's how this week has been. But you know what? With 9 games left, we're hanging around, and that's what we're going to do.
What type of momentum does it give you guys going into this 14th?
You know, it's great because, you know, we needed to win today to stay in the picture. You know, to really stay in the picture, and you know, now we get an opportunity. You know, we'll be off tomorrow on Easter. We'll have a good practice on Monday, and then hit the road. And you know, regardless of who the opponents are coming up, it's just important that we just continue to fight and battle, you know, and stick together. I mean, that's the rallying cry.
Any concerns about OJ game he had today?
I thought he played a great game other than shooting the ball. I mean, he stayed into it. He stayed into it defensively. He got some big rebounds. You know, he was involved in some playmaking. You know, I just thought he showed a lot of courage being out there, and just to stay in it and to continue to play, you know, with the kind of aggression he did, even though he wasn't shooting the ball well. I mean, that's what we got to have. That's what we got to have, because the ball's not going to go in for our guys individually every night that they step out there. But if it isn't, you got to do other things. You got to guard the ball hard. You know, you got to help your teammates. You got to make physical plays. You got to help rebound. All those things, and he stayed into it. So I was proud of him. You guys, you know, and I think, again, you know, the example he set today is important for all our guys. I mean, he's totally committed to us.
Did you give any thought to when you saw the laps that rolled out? I mean, obviously the shoulder was bugging. Did you think anything about taking him out or limiting him?
No. Look, there's a reason he's leading the team in minutes played for the year. I mean, he played 40, almost 42 minutes tonight, and you know, part of it is because the way our roster is set up. The other part of it is, you know, he's a threat out there, and you know, he spaces the floor. He's an aggressive guy, and he's become a much better playmaker. So, you know, but look, it was a team win, and again, it just, to me, the OJ example is an example of, you know, ways to impact the game, even if you're not shooting the ball well.
Coach, you've always talked about guys on the bench being ready. Are you happy with the overall play of the bench? They've been averaging over 40 points the last couple of games.
Yeah, our bench is, you know, it's been one of our calling cards all year. It's part of our balance, you know, and you know, we got one of the highest scoring benches because we have a lot of our best players coming off the bench. I mean, let's face it, Collison's a starting caliber player. Carter is a starting caliber player. You know, Brandon Wright, he came off the bench tonight. He's been starting for us. You know, so you know, it's all about our best formula to try to win, and that's what we do. And you know, we had to shuffle the lineup tonight because of the physical nature of their team to start the game, and look, guys are rolling with it. You know, we're not getting a lot of bitching about it. You know, so that's good, and that's the kind of spirit we got to have going forward.
That last shot, obviously we didn't much needed, but throughout the fourth quarter, do you feel like Dirk was kind of just saying, I'm going to will this thing along if I can?
Yeah, look, he was having a phenomenal game. He was 8 for 8 in the first half, so we knew we had to keep getting him the ball. But we also knew they were going to adjust their defense. And so, you know, the last play was an action that got him involved in it with two of our playmakers, and you know, Carter and James did a great job of moving the ball and getting it in Dirk's hands, and you know, I was standing right behind it as it was in flight, and there was no doubt that it was going in. There was no doubt.
Rick, how much do you think being in the position to have to scratch and fight, just to stay in the playoff picture, has stoked Dirk's competitive fire?
There's no doubt the fact that everything right now is meaningful really helps everybody. It really helps everybody. I mean, if we were 10 games up, you know, in first place in the conference, everybody'd be talking about whether we should rest players and all that stuff. If we were 10 games out of it, everybody'd be talking about, you know, other stuff, you know, playing the young guys, draft position, all that nonsense. Hey, we're trying to win, and I don't, you know, unless Mark sells the team to somebody else that's going to have a different approach, you know. The mandate is win games, and that's the expectation from our owners, it's the expectation from our fans, and it's the expectation in the locker room. So, you know, that's how it's going to be.
Is that the mindset of the team going into these last 9 games, winning games?
Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, we you know, there's a lot at stake here. There's a lot at stake here on a lot of different levels, and you know, we're going to compete.
Anything else?